Oh yeah, they had the tattoos, didn't they?
They had the tattoos. Any tattoos with you guys?
No,
None that you can talk about?
Not yet.
Not yet.
No,
Not yet.
Oh,
It's the ring. That's good. That's good.
no,
Is that too much?
no, it's not too much.
Hello and welcome to the Movie Podcast. My name is Daniel. I'm one of your hosts today, and this is the third and final part of our interview series for The Lord of the Rings, The Rings of Power. Now, finally making our way to the end of our quest, joining alongside me today are Anthony.
Hello, everyone.
And Shahbaz.
Hi, everybody.
Shay, how are you doing today?
I'm doing great. We've been talking about Lord of the Rings nonstop, so yeah, feeling really great. I'm glad we're finally here at the end of this trilogy. I believe this interview will win us 11 Academy Awards.
I think it's going to be easily sweeping every other podcast and even the Oscars. You know, I think we are going to take over the Oscars.
They're going to make an
win.
award for best podcast just for this one Oscar. That's it.
Right. Best podcasts called The Movie Podcast, and it's just us and then some random other person somewhere else in the world who had a podcast named this.
Right.
Yeah. Anthony, how are you doing today?
I am just grateful that we all survived the last two parts and we all made it to the third. So that means we have a hero's journey back home.
It means the Eagles are going to come and carry us home after
Yes,
all of
I'm
this,
grateful for the Eagles to come and carry me home. And yeah, we've been on this journey, Lord of the Rings, for I want to say past month and a half, and it's been exciting, and there's a lot of pressure to get everything done and concluded. So we want to make sure we're building the best content for it. And I'm just glad that this is the last one. I think this is probably one of our best interviews we've ever done.
It's true. This has been the interview that we've been building up towards. This one, we were so lucky that we got to talk to 4 members of the cast. So today on the show, we have Nazanin Boniadi, who plays Bronwyn. We have Lloyd Owen, who plays Elendil. We have Charles Edwards, who plays Celebrimbor, who is the forger of the rings, the creator of the Rings of Power. And we have Megan Richards, who plays Poppy Proudfellow. We have them joining us. And of course, if you're watching this on YouTube, this is a hilarious interview. We love that we got to be in the room with all of these people. So thank you to Prime Video Canada for making that happen. It was just such a fun experience being in LA and talking to people in person and just connecting with them. And, maybe pretending to drop your pants, as that happens in an interview, right? I mean, it happens, doesn't it? I think it does. I'll take your silent nods as yes, it does. So make sure if you are listening to this on whatever preferred podcast platform that you're on, please make sure you give the YouTube video version of this a listen. Make sure you subscribe. And of course, make sure you're following us at The Movie Podcast on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, and Letterboxd, because we have so many incredible videos and posts and everything ready to go. Tomorrow is the big day. Our review is going to be out at 10 a.m. That is on August 31st, 10 a.m. You'll be able to hear our official thoughts on The Lord of the Rings, The Rings of Power. It is a supersized review episode. We get into everything. No spoilers, though. So if you're scared about spoilers, don't worry. We just kind of talk about what the episode 1 and 2 are setting up. So look forward to that. And as always, we have lots going on the Movie Podcast right now. We have TIFF happening, Fan Expo happening. We've had a lot of great guests throughout this entire summer. It's been a summer of dreams here on the Movie Podcast. So we couldn't be more grateful for, all the opportunities that we've been getting. I know from May to today, I think the last 4 months we have changed as the show. I truly believe that we have changed, as people, as we've gone on this journey. And I feel like, as Anthony said, this is kind of the end of this journey. And then, as fall's beginning, as TIFF is beginning, we're starting a new journey. So we're not going anywhere. I just think as people that, we've changed, and I think our show's evolved. And I can't think, for myself, to you, Shay, and to you, Anthony, to be here at the end of this journey. It's meant so much. And I'm just curious, for yourself, Shay, last episode in our interview series, as before we get to a review, how are you feeling now that we're just like on the precipice of, the show finally coming out and us being able to talk about it with everyone?
It feels great. I can't wait for the show to come out so that we can talk to people about it. And then when our review comes out, people can know what we thought about the show.
Yeah.
I'm very excited. This was also another great interview. As soon as we walked in and we introduced ourselves to them, Nazanin was like, "Oh, Shahbaz, are you Persian?" And I was so nervous because she's, it's Nazanin. Like, she looks so good. I was like, I'm not Persian, but I'm Pakistani. And today is actually our Independence Day. And she's like, dude, I didn't ask. Like,
Nazanin was just like, I'm just like,
I wish you, thank God you're not Persian, because if you were, I would have renounced my culture. Oh, okay. Okay. Sounds good.
No, it's hilarious. It was just so funny. Just, talk to them. And obviously, we see like Lloyd pretending to pull down his pants, which you'll see why very, very soon. We had a good time with this. I think as there's more people in the room, and I think as press goes on, this was a later review for us. So I think everyone's just kind of guards were down, and everyone had a kind of case of the sillies, I think, at this point. So it was a lot of fun. Anthony, at the end of the journey, what are your thoughts right now?
Like I said, I'm grateful that I was part of the experience. I'm glad that it's coming to an end, because it is something that I'll take forward with me, and I've grown with it and learned so much about it. And look forward to what's coming next. I think the next couple of months are going to be really busy for the movie podcast. So
definitely,
Lord of the Rings was a big part of it, and now we're going on to TIFF, and then we're going into the winter season. There's Marvel, there's Black Panther, there's Avatar, there's so many things coming out. And
it's going to be busy.
We are going to be busy. We're going to have more interviews, and who knows where we might be. We might be somewhere else in the world.
Yeah.
For another movie or for another TV show. Who knows?
You never know.
You never know.
We never know where we're going to end up. But, I honestly do think, this did change us as a show. The Lord of the Rings, the Rings of Power did change us as a show. And I hope if you've been on this journey with us the last 3 episodes, I hope you've enjoyed. So without further ado, please welcome Nazanin Boniadi, Lloyd Owen, Charles Edwards, and Megan Richards to the Movie Podcast.
Hi guys, well, thank you so much for talking to us today, and welcome to Middle Earth. This must be pretty awesome, and it must be great to finally talk about the show. We spoke with one of your castmates, Dylan, and he told us all about working in New Zealand and becoming a family. Now, was he being extra Canadian to us and telling us that, or is that true? Like, did that actually happen?
It's very true, and we love Dylan. No, it is.
We do love Dylan. Yeah,
we do. Come on, get over here.
It's not behind somewhere where we're here, right? No.
Surprise guest.
Oh, no. Can you imagine? Like, let's do a reveal.
Here he is.
The most elaborate interview done today is just me pulling Dylan out of here.
I love that.
When he's on a roll, he's one of the funniest guys you'll ever meet.
Leave it
there.
He jokes around with us a lot as well. So it's really awesome.
Yeah. But no, it was, we had to become each other's sort of support networks, as well as like family and friends and colleagues while we were out there for 2 years. Like, it's a long time and such a specific moment in the world as well. So no, we do, I think, love each other very much.
What is some of you?
It's
not going.
We're working on it.
True story. Actors always say they love each other, but genuinely, this is a very, very friendly, warm, loving group of people. And it is because we were extricated from family, dropped to New Zealand during a global pandemic, it became our village and our family network. It had to be. We looked out for each other. So it's a very, very powerful bond between us all.
I love that. And I think when you think of just like Lord of the Rings and, from other adaptations we've seen in the past, that cast is so tight, and it's nice to see that's carried on with you guys as well.
Oh, yeah, they had the tattoos, didn't they?
Yeah, the tattoos. Any tattoos with you guys?
None that you can talk about? Not yet.
Not yet. Not yet. It's the ring. That's good. Is that too much?
No, it's not too much.
It took a second.
We're doing my
Get out now.
Nazi, for yourself, Bronwyn is such a character I think defies expectations of what people expect of her in her community. What do you think's driving her so much to be a leader and to kind of spark that change?
Yeah, I think that's spot on. She's got a deep love for her son, and she's very protective of her son. She's obviously in a forbidden romance with an elf, and there's a power dynamic there, but also there's a
a strong love and devotion to her people, the Southlanders, and she's sort of committed to liberating them from the shackles of their past. So I think that's the motivation behind the sort of the tenacity and the gumption that you see.
The scale of the show is massive. And I think what I love so much is that we get to spend so much time with these different factions of like just not just men, but elves. And we're getting the time that I think that we weren't always allotted, maybe in a movie or an animated form, but now we get a series, we get to explore. So we get to like explore a lot of new characters too, right?
I think that's a great privilege of being able to be given this amount of time to tell this story. Right. If you tell it more like a novel, rather than have to restrict things to 2.5 hours.
Now, you've had to obviously put so much of yourself in when becoming these characters. Is there anything that you took from the character that you were working on that you've now applied to your own life?
Well, I know something that was actually the other way around. So once, apparently, I asked JD this. He was just like, it's really nice because it's like a couple months in. It's like, it's really nice because now it feels like we're writing for you because we know you and we know Markella and, we know your voices. And I was like, oh, so has anything changed or has anything been added? And he was like, yeah, she's a lot more sarcastic now. And I was like, oh, okay, all right. But it was really cool. Like we did find ourselves reading scripts and going, this is Markella and me. Not, as Poppy and not like it was really incredible.
That's such a treat to have to be in that position.
Yeah, it was so lovely.
Right to start to tailor their output to the actor. I mean, that's a wonderful position. Yeah.
But I don't know if I had anything the other way around.
I think when you're working with Tolkien, that the human condition is up in your face all the time. So in terms of Elendil, who I play, I mean, some of the emotional, moral choices he's starting to have to make, and a battle between head and heart as he gets sucked into to a polarized society and not sure which way to go. And so many decisions in one's life are made that way, and there's a head-heart battle. And I think probably in that sense, there's always that sort of sense of relief. You think, I'm not the only one who feels like this. And, you see it through how JD and Patrick have written it, and you go back one more, and it's Tolkien, and these are the themes. As he says, it's all about the fall and what it is to be human, fallibly human, or fallibly Numenorian, or fallibly Elvish, or fallibly Middle-earther, or Half-Earth.
Yeah, nice.
What do you think, chaps? I've just spoken for all of you.
I completely agree.
And it's funny because Desmond mentioned to you, Megan, like, do you find yourself more like Poppy or like Nori? So it's nice to know that Poppy's more like you.
Yeah.
Right? So that's really special.
Yeah, no, it is really cool. Yeah.
Really sunk.
Yeah. Now, there's obviously a lot of fantastic props from the show as well. Anything you guys walked away with that took for yourself?
Yes.
Amazon.
Yes.
We have not taken anything away from the
I
show.
will admit it openly. I have her locks. I have my wear.
Did you put them in the bag in West?
No, I think there was a bit of a wink, like, oh no, I've given it.
Once on Melchior's side, always on Melchior's side. The thieving card,
No, but I'm trying to redeem my people. Like,
That's true.
No, I'm very excited though, because every time I'll see it, I'm just sort of like transported back to. Yeah.
I want to steal my ring, which says "Safe Return" in Elvish from my dead wife. It's a beautiful piece that they made. Yeah. So, but I have not done that yet. And
because next year they'll go, "Where's your ring?"
Yeah, they still need it.
Stand up.
It's at home right now for safekeeping.
Yeah,
exactly.
I have a golden. I haven't nicked it. I haven't stolen it.
You're borrowing it,
but it's a scroll. There's a name for it. It contains it, and you pull it, and it pulls out a scroll. It's a golden or brass cane. But to be honest, my workshop on that set is full of loads of little goodies. I'm sure they wouldn't notice if they went.
No.
So there's still time.
Poppy has a spoon on her belt that was given to her. It was like a treasure that one of her younger brothers picked up and gave to her, and she wears it always, sort of like a badge of honor, and sort of it's a Proudfellow spoon. So I think I'd like to take that one day. I think of all the things. She doesn't really have much on her, to be honest.
Berries.
I'd just take loads of berries home. Yeah, a year's worth.
I'm looking forward to that Insta post of you with a bowl of porridge.
If you guys had just one word to try and describe the show to somebody, do you have that? I'm put you guys on the spot for that. One word to describe the show.
I'd say hope.
Now you have to top that. I'm sorry.
Loyalty.
Okay. Yeah, setting the bar very high right now.
Yeah.
Art.
Yeah, I was going to go with love.
Oh no.
Oh, yeah. All of those things.
Lovely.
Yeah.
We love
All of those things are true.
And months.
/ impending doom.
Not forgetting.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Again, guys, thank you so much for doing it.
Great to meet you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks so much.
Welcome back from our third and final in-person interview for the Lord of the Rings of Power. We are living in a post Lloyd pulling down his pants world, I think now. We have to live with this. We had to see. We were so adamant on making sure we got this video footage because it was almost like we hit the jackpot with this one. We got the clip of the day. With Lloyd Owens pretending to pull down his pants. It was what a moment that was.
I gotta say, I captured that live, and when you're in like the mission control, we've been talking about mission control. There's no audio, so you just see video. So when I saw you guys up there, I'm like, oh, they're doing the thing. I'm gonna capture their footage, and I'm gonna just kind of like record like a behind the scenes type of shot. And while I'm recording, you see this dude just jump up, turn around, and make the mannerisms of pulling down his pants and then mooning you.
Like he's mooning us.
And I'm like,
yeah.
How did
they get
how
there?
did we get here? And how did it lead? And it just ended. It was just very sporadic. It was just like I was meant to capture it at that time.
Yes.
It was. It was destiny.
Surreal
fate,
in a
man.
sense, but but it's funny that now I know the context behind it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
without context, that must have been just jarring. You must have been in the room like, what did they say to him to get him to do this?
Shay must have said it's Pakistan's Independence Day today.
I did. I'm like, Nazanin, this is how we say hello in Pakistan.
Yeah, what an experience. It's always fun when you're in a room with this many people. And, as we said at the top, like, I think, because this was later in the day, everyone, I think, had a bit of a case of the sillies where they're just like, we've been on this journey. And then, it's funny, the cast after the Hollywood premiere that we were at, they all split up. So half of them went to Mumbai to do a premiere, and then half of them went to Mexico City. And then they still probably have more press. They have to go to London. They'll probably go to New York. Like they'll be hitting up all these major cities. So like doing press is just a whirlwind of an experience. And I know how it felt for us being there. And we are only doing press with them for a day. So imagine doing this for like weeks upon weeks upon weeks. They just must be exhausted by the end of all of this, right? We can't thank, as we've been saying and reiterating throughout, this interview series and here in our review tomorrow, this opportunity wouldn't have happened without our friends at Prime Video Canada. So we cannot thank them enough for the opportunity, for trusting us, as Shay said, with the opportunity to do this. And we look forward to working with them a lot more because this show is phenomenal. You've seen our social reactions up to this point, I'm hoping. You see how high we think of it. And I hope, and I think I know when the show does come out, you hear our review tomorrow and the show drops, later this week, you're going to see why it's so special. And I just want to say thank you to Nazanin. I want to say thank you to Lloyd, Charles, Megan, Sara, Cynthia, Roberts, Patrick, and Lindsey, for joining us on this journey with us. We felt like we went there and back again with you. Just, talking about this series, we know the blood, sweat, and tears you put into it. So to the entire cast, the entire team, to everyone who we didn't even get to talk to, for your contributions to the show, we see that it's seen on the screen, and it's so wonderful. So I'm excited for the show to finally be out there. And, for this interview series, hopefully we'll get to do some more, and down the road, you never know we never know what's going to be coming up. So stay tuned here on the Movie Podcast. Make sure you're following us on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, and Letterboxd at the Movie Podcast. Subscribe to us on YouTube. And of course, join our Discord because we're having some great conversations in there. We're going to be opening up a Lord of the Rings of Power channel, so we could talk about the show. Let's keep this conversation going because there's so much to love about it. And I want to unpack it with everyone, after each new episode every single week. So look forward to all of that. And of course, check out all of our TIFF coverage, check out our Fan Expo coverage, and check out all of the amazing reviews and interviews that we've done this year. If this is the first time you've heard of the Movie Podcast, or this is the first time you've stumbled upon our show, look around, check out TheMoviePodcast.ca, check out our socials. We've been really lucky to have some incredible guests and directors and writers and producers and animators join us on the show. And I think that's what I love so much about what we're doing on the Movie Podcast is that we love to talk to everybody. If you're making a movie, it's not just the stars, it's not just the directors. We want to talk to everyone involved. And I think we've been really lucky to have some incredible guests join us this year alone. And it really is a landmark year for us. So we're hoping that, the rest of this year in 2023 and forward, it's only going to get better from here. So please stick around. We'd love to have you. That was this time with the Movie Podcast, and we'll see you next.